Payload. The rocket with the highest proven payload capacity still remains the Saturn V, developed by the United States in the 1960s and 70s. It was used during NASA's Apollo and Skylab programs. It had a payload capacity of approximately 140 metric tons to low Earth orbit. A more powerful version of this rocket was being planned for NASA's Constellation program of the mid-2000s. Currently, the Falcon Heavy rocket from SpaceX is the most powerful operational rocket. It has an advertised maximum payload capacity of 63.8 metric tons to low Earth orbit in a fully expendable configuration, and around 57 metric tons to LEO in a partially reusable configuration. Needless to say that our previous proven payload has not been matched yet by any current rocket. But the situation with our current puny payload capacity is even worse than this. For example, to send a crew of 5 on a 1,200-day mission to Mars is estimated we would need to lift a total payload of 600,000 kilograms to LEO. That is 600 metric tons. Keeping in mind that our current capacity is only about 64 metric tons per launch. Due to our limited current propulsion systems, payload capacities are, let's call it, inadequate. If accounting for the likely initial need to lift hundreds of metric tons of materials to an orbital ship construction site, the payload capacity requirements balloon out to hopeless figures. These current payload limitations create a sort of feedback loop where we can't increase our payload capacity because we are unable to build ships in orbit. And we can't build ships in orbit because we can't increase our payload capacity, and so on. So, our first efforts for interstellar missions should start with goals to build ships on Earth's orbit. In fact, I believe that nothing less than orbiting cities will enable our possibilities with interstellar travel. So, the first step to interstellar travel is actually in-orbit semi-permanent habitat. I have written a book on this subject in the past called Colonize Space Now. The link for it is in the description section of this chat. Ship size. Considering our current state of technology, interstellar ships will likely need to house a sufficient human population for a generational interstellar mission, often called generational arcs. However, again, spaceship size is necessarily limited to current propulsion and the payload capacities, which in turn limits our ability to build large ships on Earth. Our largest habitable structure in space, the ISS, has only a total habitable square footage of a large home, about 1,293 meters squared, that is 4,246 square feet. And it took over 2 decades to build the ISS to its current state. This highlights our current slow pace of development in space. Also, we currently have no operational spacecraft capable of traveling to deep space, nor one able to carry more than about a dozen astronauts per launch. SpaceX has the Starship craft, which may soon change this, but that is still being developed as of this writing. I believe no space agency or company currently has plans to build crewed spacecraft fully capable of solar system deep space travel, let alone interstellar travel. So, the groundwork to begin such projects still needs to begin. That groundwork, I believe, should be based on tangible goals. And those goals are yet to be determined. What is it that we need in space? What is it that we want in space? Etc. Spaceship multiplicity. A mission to the stars would likely require an armada of extremely capable spacecraft. This is not only required for the trip, but also to build the orbital systems required to build an interstellar mission, to build the ship or ships that will actually undertake this mission. Unfortunately, and currently, the number of ships we are readily able to build for this purpose is precisely 0. Furthermore, the megaship building infrastructure necessary for interstellar travel would likely be severely limited by current geopolitical and economic factors. And this is likely to remain true for the foreseeable future. So, with this we can move on to the next subject. Advanced ship systems. Advanced ship systems, as described here, are the high-level, high-reliability, and high-precision structures, software, machines, and computers necessary for an interstellar system. Unfortunately, As we currently have nearly zero chances to build interstellar ships, the need for these ultra-advanced systems is small. So, for the foreseeable future, there will likely be a lack thereof these systems and the ships with such systems. To further define what I mean by advanced ship systems, simply they are systems that 1. Can propel a ship to reach a significant percentage of the speed of light. 2. Could limit travel times to human lifetimes or even one human generation to nearest star system. 3. Reliably shield from space particles at or near anywhere any percentage of the speed of light. 4. Reliably shield from space radiation during any part of the trip to the nearest star system. 5. Can generate artificial gravity. 6. Maintain human health during the long-duration flight to the nearest star system. 7. Reliably grow sufficient food. And 8. Sustain farm animals for food in space, and so on.
Thank you very much. Please look for the next episode on this series very soon.